Hey, howdy ho, everybody. This is Postmortem Nightshade, and welcome to review number 3 for this weekend. For my final review for the weekend, I went and saw The Running Man, which was directed by Edgar Wright, who also directed one of my favorite and most rewatched movies, Last Night in Soho. Last Night in Soho was actually a recommended watch from Possessed by Horror, who is a fellow creator on YouTube, and I am so glad that I checked it out because I loved that movie. So, thank you very much, Possessed by Horror, for the awesome recommendation, and I love your channel so much! Now, I knew Edgar Wright had directed Last Night in Soho before going into this film, so I had big hopes for The Running Man. It is also an adaptation of the book by Stephen King with the same name, which I have not read. Firstly, I would like to say something that I've said before, so I'll say it again. Dystopian movies are not that fun to watch anymore because they feel too much like modern day reality. And secondly, because of this fact, then the messaging of this film felt very on the nose. I also felt that this movie was too long and drawn out. I feel like the action and messaging may have actually come across a little better in a shorter and more concise film. On the positive side, though, this movie looks great. The design of the dystopian world looks good, and this particular universe also feels quite lived in, which is nice in the world of movies using CGI. In addition, I feel that Glen Powell definitely has that it factor that all A-list stars seem to possess, and he brings that to the lead role. Additionally, Coleman Domingo and Josh Brolin bring a high level of craft and fun to seemingly otherwise generic villainous corporate roles that you've seen before. In general, I had really high hopes for this movie, which weren't quite met, but I am still super excited to see what Edgar Wright does next. Overall, this movie would get a recommend from me. However, this is another film where I would recommend that it is better suited for your local theater's bargain day if any of the theaters near you still have one. In my opinion, the action and performances are worth seeing on the big screen for sure, but not at full price. Thank you everyone so much for tuning in, and if you'd like to follow along on my movie review journey, please like, subscribe, and follow, and I will see y'all very soon.